Hello, hello, hi guys. Today is our very strange stream. We are playing today What a Vampire Story. And Ilya, please help me to introduce everybody.
Well, good evening, everyone. Today I am happy to be here, and I'm happy to introduce my fellow players and our wonderful storyteller. Today, as a storyteller, Jeyson Karl, an absolute legend, a game designer for Vampires the Masquerade 5th edition, and former game designer for Dungeons and Dragons. Obviously a storyteller for LA by Night, you're all familiar with that, and just simply a wonderful human being. As other players, today we are joined by Olha, who will be playing as Helena, the gangrel that moved from Slovakia to New York City and now is trying to live a Camarilla lifestyle. Leave La Sombra is played by Natalie, who is a refugee from the eastern part of the United States and now is hiding from her terrific past. And me, Ilya, will be playing another gangrel, Dirk the Hammer, a rebel that accidentally joined the Camarilla in NYC. I think that's about it.
Thank you so much, Jeyson. We can start.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade story, The Murder of Crows. First, I want to thank my friend Natalie for inviting me to join you all this evening to tell this story, this Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition story. We are in New York City tonight, and we are going to begin with a few special notes. First, our story is short, only about 3 hours, so for the sake of time, we will keep the story moving and we will make our rulings very quick. We might get a few rules wrong, and that's okay, because it serves the story. We will not be using the blood resonance rules tonight, but we will be using all the other rules of Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. So, players and I have talked about consent and safety, and we've agreed on where the lines and veils of our game are tonight. I understand where the topics are that we will not cover, and we have agreed upon where we will begin the tale. So, players, are you ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Are you sure?
Definitely.
Okay. So let's begin. New York City. Why this city? Why this story? New York City is not the biggest city in the world. It's not the most populous. It's not the largest by area. Maybe it's not even the most important, but it is special. It was recently the location of a great struggle between the Camarilla and the Sabbat. The Sabbat lost and was driven away from the city. The Camarilla is ascendant. Prince Helene Panhard rules the city, or so she says. She and her Camarilla court exercise control over most of the territories of the city. All the 5 boroughs have kindred loyal to the Camarilla. But on the outskirts of the city, the very edges, pushed to the limits of New York, there are anarchs who perhaps survive and plan against their enemy. Without the Sabbat in the city, there is nothing to stop the Camarilla and the anarchs from clashing. And that war is inevitable. But for now, Camarilla is ascendant and believes it is in control. Let's begin in the borough of the Bronx, northeast of legendary Manhattan Island. The Bronx is a large district, diverse in its population. Crumbling tenements, ruined neighborhoods sit side by side with opulence and gentrification. It's a complicated, seething cauldron of change, perfect for vampire. Now that we know where we are, let's focus on one specific place in the Bronx. An animal shelter, an animal hospital, a veterinary clinic, far on the edge of the district, as far as it's possible to be from Camarilla Control, still be in New York City. The kindred we're going to visit now is Helena. Hello, Helena.
Hello.
Please tell us something about your animal hospital. If we were to visit, if we were mortals with a sick or injured animal walking into your animal shelter tonight, what would we see?
You would find a two-story building which is lit with cold lights. You would find a tired receptionist, probably almost asleep on the first floor, but ready to help you, asking how she can be of help. You would probably find some rooms where you can wait, and maybe some other people who came here seeking help for their beloved pets. You would maybe even find Helena herself, who used to come here a lot as a mortal, and still comes here, even though she only can visit at night now. But she tries to help around as much as she can.
And when we meet Helena, what does she look like? How does she appear to everyone else?
She's a woman in her 30s with dark hair, and she doesn't like to stand out from the crowd, even though in the recent years she definitely became more pale and her eyes maybe became a weird color, but she still tries to be as nice and helpful to everyone she meets. She usually just wears some dark trousers, dark clothes, maybe a coat or a sweater, something that she doesn't really care much about it getting dirty. Yeah, that's Helena in a nutshell. Also a lot of wooden jewelry.
A lot of wooden jewelry.
Yes.
That's her style.
A preference from the old life.
From the old life before New York. Well, tonight, it's autumn in New York. Cold, of course it's dark, and there's a very light rain falling across the city. A reminder that the winter is coming soon, and the winter will be cold, and the winter will be long. But it's not here quite yet. There are still a few leaves on the trees that wave gently in the autumn wind. And the door opens, the wind blows into your clinic, bringing scattered dry leaves that skitter across the floor, swirl around. Feel a chill down your spine, because every time she's nearby, it's always bad news. Before you even turn around, you know who it is. You know it's your sire, Madison. She looks the same as she always looks. She's wearing that same long brown trench coat, same baggy sweatpants, same combat boots, and the same rock and roll t-shirt that's so faded, so stained you can't even read the name of the band on it anymore. And you know, even though you don't see it, Her damned pet, her raven, the blood-drinking raven, is here somewhere. Maybe it's on the roof, maybe it's in a tree outside, maybe it's here in the shelter, but it's definitely here somewhere. Her hair is the same too. Wild, unkempt, long. Like she never bothered to comb it ever, and hasn't bothered to start after she died. She smiles. She looks actually pleased to see you.
I return.
What? No greeting for your sire?
Good evening.
No hug?
I said good evening.
Oh, it's so formal.
This is what I'm supposed to be here. Is it not?
She looks around the shelter. I mean, is this really all you aspire to? We never see you at court. You never come to visit.
Oh, I have aspirations about this place as well.
You know, if I was a different kind of person, I might think you cared more about these animals than me.
How could I? You were so kind to give me this life. And life. I look to my left and right to see if there are other people paying attention to our conversation and just ask her to a room aside.
She follows you into the room and closes the door behind her when she enters. I see business is good. You have plenty of patience.
Yes, we are trying to help them first and make money second, but yes, business is good.
Tell me, do you ever see the sheriff around this district? Has Kadir visited you?
I mean, I don't think I'm of much interest to him.
That's probably for the best. Don't you think?
Probably.
She runs her long fingers through her wild hair, teasing it out even longer and stranger. It's a habit you remember very, very well. So, I'll bet you're wondering what brings me here tonight.
Yes. What does bring you here?
Time for you to repay that favor you owe me.
And what can I do for you?
Well, you know how the prince feels about Anarch. Really doesn't like them. And I've heard that there are some Anarchs in my hunting ground. On my territory, my turf. And I want you to go to talk to them and persuade them, however you feel you should. Is that a rock? To leave my territory. Go to their meeting, break it up, sweet talk them, threaten them, beat them down, whatever you have to do, my dear, but make them leave. I don't want them to be there in 3 nights. Because if Kadir has to visit my territory to get rid of them himself, we'll all have a problem. You'll do this for me, won't you, my child?
Just like that, that would be the favor you ask of me? To ask the Anarchs to leave.
To make sure that they do.
I'll do my best. I don't think there is another option in this scenario. Is there?
You see, I chose you because you were smart. And you're right, there isn't another option. Do this for me, and our favor is paid. We're quits. Does that seem fair?
Of course. Does this mean that the deals about the shelter are off as well?
An interesting proposition. Where's your dog?
Home? I don't bring him here every night. Why?
Too bad. I find your dog an interesting conversationalist.
He's also...
So,
You didn't answer my question.
very well. I agree. Do this for me. I will relinquish all claims to your territory. Shelter will be yours and yours alone.
I can promise you I will do my best with all my heart now.
Well, what else could I ask? Well,
Anything else?
thank you for your time.
Great.
I'll let you do whatever it is you do with that friend of yours, the screwdriver or the saw,
Yeah, I'll probably ask him.
the axe, hammer.
The
That
hammer.
was it. The hammer.
Yes.
I knew it was a tool. I just couldn't remember which one.
I would have thought you would like him more, considering you have a similar style.
Well, we haven't really gotten to know one another, have we? Because you never visit. And when you do, you never bring your friends.
Should I pass him your invitation?
I'll let you decide.
Great. Yes, I'll ask him, and I have another person in mind who can help, but I assume that's my problem.
You have other friends?
Is that so hard to believe?
No. But... interesting. Well, I'll leave you to it. You decide how you want to handle it. I know they're meeting tonight. They're in Pelham Park. They're in that abandoned train station. What is it? Bartov, Bartlow, Barso, whatever it is. Deal with it, and all the debt is paid.
Deal.
Deal.
And Miss Madison, do not touch my dog.
I have no plans to hurt your doggo. Don't make me change my mind.
Have a pleasant night, ma'am.
Good night, and good luck. She excuses herself. She leaves your office, and you can hear her combat boots fade into the distance. You hear the door of the animal shelter open and close. She's gone. What would you like to do next?
I'll probably take like a minute or two to calm down and to make sure the goddamn raven is not watching me through a window.
Well, you look through the windows, you see rain, darkness. The single street light outside your animal shelter doesn't really illuminate much, but you don't see it. That doesn't mean it's not there.
I hate this feeling. But I'll probably take a step back from the window, take my phone, and call Dirk, the hammer, since I now have something to talk to.
All right. Dirk, your cell phone rings, your mobile. You recognize the number, of course.
I think I'll be on the road at this time of night, just on my motorcycle going somewhere, and then I'll hear the vibrations and suddenly realize that I have to stop because not many people really know my phone number.
Well, let's imagine that scene for a moment. What kind of vehicle are you driving in or on?
It's obviously a heavy motorcycle that I use for everything. It's completely black except for some chrome parts, and it's loud as hell.
Have you made it louder than it should be?
Obviously.
So, when the camera zooms in on you and your motorcycle, what does the camera see? What does Dirk look like?
Well, that's a really dirty human being. There are stains all over his clothes, some from motor engine stuff like oils, and some from blood. But it's hard to really distinguish them at this time of night, and so I think it will be quite lost in the whole vulgarity of the rest of his personal appearance.
Would you say that you look intimidating?
To some, obviously.
So you pull the cycle over to the side of the road, the rain falling gently around you in the dark, perhaps under a streetlight so that you can see the screen.
I will say Helena's name. And I will pick up the phone, obviously.
Sounds like there's a conversation that's going to happen.
Hello there, my darling.
You busy?
Not really. What's up?
Great. You know how you always want to know how this camarilla works and you want to find out more about the structure?
Are you finally ready to tell me?
I've got something even better. An example.
An example? Wonderful.
Yes, a very good example. One of the higher ups tells you to do something and you do that. And in the best case scenario, you're not fucked at the end.
Sounds just about right. Shall I meet you somewhere?
Can you come to my shelter?
Yeah, sure. We'll be there in 20.
Perfect. I'll try to get leave as well.
Sure thing. Bye.
And I'll try to dial Liv's number as well.
So, Liv, your mobile phone, the device you love and hate, rings. The ringtone is for Helena. Do you want to try to answer it?
No, I think Liv now is in some club, so it's not the best way to answer. Liv looks like this. Why? Why you are doing this with me?
And in this club full of young people, excited, dancing, enjoying the scene, vibing together to the music, dancing to the pulsating beat of the DJ. What do we see when we look at Liv? We see what?
I think that Liv is sitting in the darkest corner and she is playing in her hands some jewelry that she stole here. And when she hear phone call, she's looking with very ugly this thing. No, I don't answer. I'm texting. Sorry, I'm busy. You can text me.
I reply, I have a thing to do. Want to help me?
Is it fun?
I would have started with a task from Camarilla, but it looks like it will be fun as well.
Okay. When? And where?
I sent her the address of the shelter. Come, let's talk.
Fortunately, it's not very far away from your club.
Okay. It looks like something more interesting than stealing cheap jewelry here, just for fun.
So you want to leave the club, is that right?
Yep, I'm leaving the club and take a cab.
Before you leave, your exit is interrupted.
Hmm.
The manager who runs this place, someone you've had some association with because of your popularity in the scene, gets in your way. He's dressed like almost a parody of a club manager. He wears mirrored sunglasses. His thinning hair is slicked away from his head. He wears really ugly, tasteless club clothing and too much jewelry. He's trying too hard to look too young as he ages. He gets in your way, physically, preventing you from moving forward.
I'm putting my hood and trying to walk that I don't see him.
You're gonna try to pretend that he's not there. All right. Let's do this. Our first dice roll of the night.
Okay.
Let's make a dice pool. For you, sorry, I'm calling up your character sheet. Excuse the delay here. Here we go. Let's make it dexterity and stealth. That's a good roll for you. That's 7 dice.
Yep, I have 5 successes.
5 successes? All
Yep.
right. He's only a mortal, so, of course, he's very likely to have fewer dice than you. He only has 5 dice, so chances are he can't get 5 successes. But let's see if it's a tie. Ooh, 4 successes. Almost.
I'm not the person you're looking today.
You just dodge around him, bob, weave, maybe dance around, but you escape without being interrupted on your way out. And he's left behind you looking confused and asking people very loudly, "Hey, where'd she go? Where's Liv? She was right here. I saw her. Come on. Go!" It's like being in Jersey or something. You make your way out into the night. So, everyone's on their way to the animal shelter, right?
Yep, I take a cab, I think, and go there.
I'm driving.
Take a New York City yellow cab. Traditional way to transport. No Ubers for you because, of course, that would involve your phone. Better to stand on the street corner in the rain getting a taxi. Then let's shift the scene. Let's go back to the animal hospital, to the shelter. It's now in the middle of the night, near midnight. The rain has begun to ease. Now it's just a steady drip, drip, drip. Wet pavement. Pools of water reflecting the sick orange streetlights of the city. Dirk and Liv arrive at nearly the same time. Dirk on his incredibly loud motorcycle. Come on, you know you want to make the noise for us. You know you do.
I think when I'm about to stop, I will just wait for a couple of seconds to let the engine rain out.
Just to make sure everyone knows you're here.
Exactly.
So, Liv, you hear Dirk before you see him.
Okay.
The roar of that motorcycle is unmistakable. So Liv and Dirk meet in the parking lot just outside the animal shelter together.
Hi,
What
Dirk.
happens?
Hi, Dirk.
Hey.
If you are here, it will be really fun.
You think I should make this thing louder?
No, it's perfect.
Because I just feel it lacks something. Like, it lacks some anger within. Anyways, why are you here? Are you about to do some Camarilla dirty work?
I got a message from Helena, and I thought that this may be fun. It was
So
very
a
boring.
job that requires 3 vampires. Wonderful. So,
Why you are
let's go.
saying that it's job? Maybe
well,
fun?
she told me so. She told me I'm about to be introduced to Camarilla.
Liv
At least it's
and
rules.
Dirk, I'm going to interrupt you here and ask you to make rolls.
Okay.
I'd like you both to make wits and awareness rolls, please.
All right.
Let's see. Do any of you have a specialty here? I don't think so. No. No specialties. So, wits and awareness. I'm not going to tell you what the difficulty is.
Mhm.
That's just
I've
a kind
got
of
0.
Okay.
Nothing.
One success.
1 success for Liv. Dirk?
Nothing. 0.
Nothing. No successes, but not a bestial failure.
Not a failure, no, not.
Just no successes.
Just,
Very
just
well.
no successes. Would be
Right.
fun to start with a failure, bestial favor, straight from the beginning.
I'm going to turn the scene back to you. What happens next? Do you go inside the clinic, the animal shelter, the hospital?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think I probably heard the engine roar in front of the building as well, so I meet them in the hallway.
So you meet them.
Hey,
Hey, Helena. Why does this place smell so weird?
because it's not really a place that is supposed to smell nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, shit and piss is alright, but perfumes? Really?
Why is your motorcycle so loud?
You think it should be louder? I was just about to ask Lev whether I should make it
It's
louder.
okay.
Hey, okay, that doesn't really matter.
Dirk, I thought that all gangrels have their motorcycles. Am I right?
Exactly. You're supposed to get one too. And, well, not as loud as this one, obviously, but at least at some level of loudness.
Okay, you should definitely meet Madison, but we'll get to that later. So let's talk, and I'll take them to my office as well. So, you know how you wanted to be included in the Camarilla Society, Liv? So a good chance to convince them that you are trying very hard to fit in is to do something good that would benefit the Camarilla, obviously. So my sire, Madison, asked me to help her with something, and now in turn I'm asking you to help me with the same thing. Have you heard of the Anarchs at all?
No, but wait a second. We are helping you. I mean, I don't have anything against that. I mean, you seem fine, but we are helping you. But you don't really have the power to, invite us into Camarilla, don't you?
No, but I can tell you what you can do that will make them happier.
So, this does not mean that we are allowed to join. We are essentially helping you so that you can tell us what to do next.
Yes, and this is also a part of how this works. I'm
That
afraid
doesn't
that
sound nice.
it does not get any better than that, I'm afraid.
Right, so let's hear it.
Very easy. So there are these anarchs who are the sect and organization that Camarilla doesn't like. At least my sire goes on and on about how bad they are, what a threat to society they are. And they are here, they are visiting while being uninvited. So we have to ask them to leave, or rather make them leave.
Oh, I see. So just a typical gang war, essentially.
Something like that.
Right.
Is that something that you've done in the past, Dirk?
What do you think?
And that's why I
Look.
called you first.
Look, I don't know how vampires settle their affairs, but that just sounds like someone came to someone's turf and we have to fight them off. Like, sorry, that doesn't...
That actually makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Liv?
So how many there are? Like 4, 5?
I have no idea. We'll have to go and find out.
Stop. But how it must work? Because we just came there, said hello, we are Camarilla, and it's territory of Camarilla, please go away. Yeah?
No,
Yeah.
we're gonna take shotguns and smash their brains out.
Maybe we'll try Liv's approach first, and if it doesn't work, we'll try yours? How does that sound?
We have no plan, but we are going. Okay.
I thought you wanted this to be fun.
I thought also.
Look, girls, do you have any experience in actually fighting or discussing such affairs? Like, can you physically prove that you can, get them off the ground?
I have a knife.
Yeah. Right. I see. Shit, look, I can make some calls. We can start with that, maybe get some additional help.
Look, we don't know if... Maybe they're just almost people. Maybe we can just talk to them and make a deal. Convince them.
And do we have anything to offer?
Let's see what they want.
That's a good place to start, but, the first impression is important here. I mean, like, if we go there and ask them what they want and be all whiny and small and weak, they will not see us as a threat later on. And if we go there with, smash and grab style, maybe, just maybe, they'll appreciate us a bit more.
Yeah, we need huge guns, maybe not use them, but if this will be, so it's great. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm starting to have second thoughts.
Come on, Hel. I mean, I get it. You're from civilized society and all, but, let's be real here. We are talking about gang wars. We can talk if you want to. I mean, you're the head of operation here. That's up to you.
I'm just interested in getting this done and forgetting about the turf wars for as long as I can.
Sure thing. Lead your way.
Yeah. Yes. So, Bardsthor, something like that. Do you know where that is? I probably know where that is.
Sure, it's not difficult to find, especially for someone who can use a mobile phone, unlike Liv. Pelham Park is on the very western side of the Bronx borough. It's as far east as you can go without falling into the Atlantic Ocean, the edge of New York City. It's a vast, huge public park, many times larger than Central Park, which is what people think of when they think of New York City's parks. In Manhattan, it's at least 3 or 4 times bigger. It has old-growth forests. It has rolling pastures, sports stadiums, football pitches. It has an equestrian center where wealthy people ride very expensive horses. Something perhaps of interest to Helena. And in a forgotten corner of the park, it has an abandoned train station. It once was part of the New York City rail and subway system, but the city closed it perhaps 50 years ago, and now it's almost forgotten. Very few people know it is there. Good place to meet secretly. It's not easy to get to. You have to drive into the park and then walk across some difficult territory to reach it.
That's probably
What could go wrong?
That's probably why Madison likes this place and wants to keep it.
Very likely. Pelham Park is at the very edge of Madison's territory. And, to be fair, this gigantic park is good territory for Gangrel. Now, you don't know if there are other vampires living in the park, and you don't know how many anarchs you're going to find, so
Do I know?
don't have complete information.
Is this whole park what Madison calls her turf? Or just that part of it?
The entire park is part of what she calls her turf.
Okay. So, as a reminder to everybody, the Ivory Tower calls this her territory. So we should be fine here. They shouldn't be able to harm us here.
So essentially, we are like representatives of this big group. So technically, if they hurt us, they hurt the big group. So we have some support.
Theoretically.
Sure. Right, Liv, you want to drive with me?
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
So we can get to the edge of the park, but then we have to walk. I can take us there.
Sure, you use your car. I'll go behind you.
Okay. I'll take us to the edge of the park.
I'm going to use your car.
Yes, I'll probably use my car.
All right. I have some questions before we set off for the park. Dirk, what are you bringing?
I don't think that I have actually any, big weaponry with me at this time.
No.
Maybe
You have no giant machine guns or...
No machine guns, unfortunately. I think
Sorry.
a revolver and a knife, probably something like that.
So, simple weapons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is anyone else bringing any special equipment with them? I know that Liv has her knife.
Mm-hmm. And that's all.
That's all. All right. So, as we are exiting, as we are leaving, let's allow Helena to make a wits and awareness roll because she hasn't had a chance to make one yet.
Okay. Let me do that.
And your awareness specialty, I think, is applicable here. It counts. So you get an extra die for that specialty.
Okay.
Extra dice.
I've got 9 successes.
9 successes?
Yes.
That's extraordinary. So, as you leave the animal shelter, perhaps you lock it with a key behind you, turn off the lights. The animals, of course, all turn to look at you with affection in their eyes as you exit, grateful for your help.
I feel warmth in my heart. Probably the only place where I feel it is here.
Your cold, undead, unbeating heart feels just a little less cold when you see their trusting, beautiful eyes look at you.
Just for a second.
Just for a second. And then you turn out the lights and close the door and lock it. And then you face the parking lot as you and Liv and Dirk walk across the parking lot, dark, wet with rain. At the top, the street lamp, looking down on you, the raven you expected to see. It looks with its beady little black eyes right at you. It ignores Liv, it ignores Dirk, but it turns its head so that each of its eyes can look straight at you.
I just smile and wave and just proceed.
The raven ruffles just the tip of one of its wings gently, as though acknowledging your gesture. So, into the car
Yes.
and off to Pelham Park?
Yes.
Very well. Stop here for a moment. Everybody ready for the next scene?
Can I ask Dirk before we
This is a
leaving?
good place to talk to
Okay.
each other.
Dirk, do you think she's living here because she's eating animals?
I don't think she eats animals. They taste like shit.
If you have nothing to eat, animals looks okay. No.
Look, I mean, it's simple in New York. Just grab a random guy on the street and bite his neck out. I mean, like, we live in a city of perverts. No one's gonna judge you. No one's judging me.
She don't looks like someone who do it.
Well, that's how I do it. You do it differently? I mean, like, you're a girl, obviously, so, like, it's easier for you.
I like to fit in clubs. It's very easy, but
Yeah, I would expect that. Also, by the way, what about this necklace you promised me?
it's in my place. It will be in few.
I mean, that's exactly what you were saying last time, so, like, come on.
It was not fun this time. Sorry.
Sure. You don't need a helmet, don't you? Nice. Because I don't have any, so, like, would be unfortunate. And I start my bike.
So you're going to follow the car on the bike. Liv, are you going to ride with Dirk on the bike?
Yep.
That's a lot more fun than driving in the car.
Yeah. That's why.
Night wind in your long black hair. Cold rushing past your face. Stinging your cheekbones a little bit, maybe. That leaves Helena all alone in the car.
That's fine by me.
Do you listen to the radio while you're on the way? Does Helena listen to music?
Probably not a lot. She just
No?
she listens to the rain falling on top of her car
On the top of the car?
and just kind of taking in what's happening and trying to put together what she has to do, because her freedom is so close now. She has just to get one thing right and everything can change for the better. She's very focused on what she has to do.
Very oriented on the task, on the goal.
Yep.
What thoughts are going through Dirk's head as he speeds along the nighttime streets on his motorcycle? Liv behind him.
I think I just wish that Helena actually told us. Because I feel something's up. I feel like she was trying to manipulate us into helping her, thinking that we actually helping ourselves. And I'm so frustrated because she could just say that she needs help and I would be there, but she did not. And that is horrible feeling, man. I'm probably gonna speed up a couple of times just because of that.
Gonna open up the engine on that bad boy. Make it roar. Liv, what's going through your thoughts as you sit on the back of the bike?
I think that it's great opportunity to know how to Camarilla works and how to know the best ways how to Camarilla don't like to work if the anarchs are opposition.
So, you see opportunity.
Yeah.
Helena sees opportunity and hope. And Dirk is cynical. Okay. So, let's change scenes. You speed through the night very quickly, because even though it's the midpoint of night in the autumn season, sunrise always comes too early for the kindred. That's one of the strange things about being a vampire. Everyone thinks, oh, it would be great to be a vampire. You have all this time forever. But the night is only so long. You have to wake up. Choose your clothes. Maybe you have to feed. You have to figure out what's going on in the city this evening. And you have to be back in your haven before the sun rises. That's not many hours in each day to accomplish anything. So, it's no wonder that time passes differently for the undead. Within the hour, you're in Pelham Park. Pelham Park is a vast, vast green space. It's practically a maze, a labyrinth, trails and roads, twisting through trees, and grasslands, and meadows. Part of the park borders on the Atlantic Ocean, and as you drive past it, especially for you, Dirk, and you live on the motorcycle in the open air, you can smell the sea, the salt, the mystery, the danger. For you especially, Liv, it's a deep, deep call. Your clan has long been associated with the ocean and its mysteries and the death that it can bring. It's a little like comfort. The place you're going is located deep inside Pelham Park. Barstow is an abandoned rail station. Every city has them. Every city in the world that has public transportation has forgotten and abandoned places like this. Places where the city meant to do something good, hoped things would work out, but it didn't. And so it falls into disrepair and abandonment and neglect and decay. Leaving the car and the motorcycle behind at a convenient place where you can remember where you put them. You make your way through the park. For you, Helena, this is pretty cool. Wide open, a lot of trees, a lot of grass. Even here in the autumn, when things are beginning to decay and die, when we come to the drawing down of the year, it's still beautiful. And it speaks to something deep within you, just as the ocean spoke to something inside Liv. As for what speaks to Dirk's heart, well, maybe we'll find out later. Who can say? It's not hard to find the abandoned rail station. And you can hear what's happening long before you can see it. But through the gloom of night, you do see lights coming from the abandoned platform. It looks like fire, not electric light. That orange, chaotic glow of the one thing that you know can kill you. Fire. And you can see in the distance silhouettes, shadows of people standing around the fire. 4 of them. 4 figures. Difficult to make out in the night in the shadows, but they're there. And you can hear them talking loudly in excited voices. And the loudest voice says, "I'm telling you, we have nothing to worry about. Capes don't even know we're out here. So just shut up and listen for once in your stupid undead life." Another voice responds, "Yeah, that ain't what I heard. I heard they got spies everywhere, and this is totally a bad idea. So just say your piece, sing your song, ranto your canto, and let's get the hell out of here, huh?" Now, Dirk, you were about to say something or ask a question.
I'm just kind of stopping my motorcycle and I'm turning back to leave. Hey, did you hear that shit?
Yep. Why they have fire? Are you sure they are not mortals?
They were screaming about undead lives and capes, like, sorry, but
It's so strange.
those guys at least know something. At least we should try to talk to them. Hey, is Hannah stopping? Is she there? I would like to, just stand up and open her window.
Let's move the scene to where you've stopped your vehicles. You've brought the motorcycle to a halt so that you and Liv can talk, and Helena has stopped her car near where you are. So you are at the edge of a road path where the vehicles can stay, and you can see through the darkness the glow of that fire, silhouettes of those 4 individuals, and you can hear their voices. As far as you know, they haven't seen you or heard you yet, although, Dirk, that's a really loud motorcycle.
Hey, Hell.
Yeah.
I think those assholes are what we're looking for.
Yep. So, just so
What's
you
the plan?
remember, the plan to talk. Hopefully this will be enough. So,
Who's gonna be talking? You, me.
you're probably better. I am.
So you want me to go and talk to them?
Look, so the anarchs, right? They
Yeah.
don't respect the laws. Then
Mhm.
they don't care about what happens to humans. Some of them are probably just plain crazy in our eyes. I don't know what kind of anarchs we've got here, but I've heard all kinds of things about them.
Yeah,
So-
sure, right. Hey, Liv, you do this your crazy voodoo shit with darkness and stuff like that. Can you actually, kind of dim the lights?
No, there is fire there. I don't want to go there. No way. I don't want.
You'll stand behind me. I just want you to, make it an appearance. And maybe also make sure that the fire is not as warm as it is right now.
It's not a good idea. Maybe I will
Come on, you
wait
can
for
do it
you
from a
here.
distance. No. You're going. We're all going together. That's
Yes.
not up to discussion.
We'll just tell them that they're trespassing. Maybe they're too stupid to know that.
Why they are not afraid of fire?
Yeah, that's weird.
Because they're assholes. Come on.
Maybe they're on drugs or something.
Wait, we can't take drugs, can we?
I live in a civilized society. They don't.
Do you ever
Know
fit?
something. We can...
Do you ever fit?
Look, we'll
from
discuss this later. We'll leave it for later.
Okay.
Now let's focus on this shit. And we are going together. No sticking up to the back. Let's go.
Yes.
Okay. Fire. Great.
And we
All right. So, Dirk, you apparently are a very lucky gangrel because I made a roll for them to notice your loud motorcycle, but they couldn't hear it over the sound of their own conversations in the park. And as you approach, making your way through the trees, the station comes into view. It's just a concrete building, open to the air. It's got a roof of rusting metal, held up by concrete supports and with a concrete platform where people would wait for the train. You can still see the train tracks stretching into the distance in both directions away from the platform, but the tracks are rusted and broken and overgrown plants and weeds and trees. No train has been here in 50 years, and no trains are coming now. On the platform are those four individuals who you saw through the darkness, and as you approach, you can see them much more clearly. And the fire is not as big, perhaps you thought. On one edge of the platform, perhaps, wait, I have to think in meters, not feet.
You can
maybe 10 meters away from those figures is a large, rusty metal container, like an oil drum. And there is a fire in it. It's not a bright fire, not a big fire, but dangerous if you get too close. Four figures you saw are at the other end of the platform, as far away from the fire as they can get. So, what do they look like, these four figures? The most interesting, perhaps, is a tall, thin man who's dressed a lot like Dirk. A lot of black leather, a lot of belts, a lot of harnesses, motorcycle boots, and he's got hair shaved on one side of his head and long black on the other. He's also got a huge scar down his entire face and neck, as though his skin was opened up by an enormous knife, or maybe a claw, at some point before he died. Next to this individual, sitting on the ground, cross-legged, what looks like a woman wearing some sort of trash bag or plastic raincoat, maybe. It's dark, it's got lots of stains on it, and her face is grotesque. One eye is much, much larger than her other eye. And the skin on her face seems to be peeling away in long, ragged strips. And you can see her fangs protruding from her front mouth. Clearly, someone from the Nosferatu clan. The other two figures look a little similar, and they're dressed in nicer clothing. One of them has a sweater, a jumper, and jeans and boots. He's a little older than most of the vampires you meet, in his middle age, perhaps. And the third one, the final one, is wearing a New York Yankees baseball jacket pulled up around his neck because it's wet and cold. He's got a New York Yankees baseball cap. And he has a baseball bat swinging in his hands. But that's the only weapon you see. They continue to talk as you approach. The loudest is the one with the shaved head and the cool leather, of course. And he's talking about how it's time to rally the anarchs of the city. Baron Callahan is dead. He's met the final death. Torque is a sellout. He's completely corrupt. The Calamorilla owns him. It's time for the Unbound to rise up, unite, and stick it to the ivory tower. The other three are less enthusiastic about this plan. They're listening, and the Nosferatu on the slab is nodding in agreement, but nobody seems very excited about this. So, do I understand that you are not trying to conceal yourselves?
Not at all.
You're walking right up onto the platform,
Mm-hmm.
letting yourselves be seen.
I want to make every step of mine as loud as I can.
When they hear you, they stop talking. And the individual with the shaved head says, "Hey, someone's here. Hang on." Maybe
No
it's
shit, someone's here. You've noticed me. I was trying to hide myself. Sorry to bother you. You were talking. Keep on.
Who the hell are you?
I am Doug the Hammer. And who the hell are you?
You have to be kidding me.
Look,
Well,
it's-
Mr. the Hammer,
Thank you.
how you doing?
Just fine. I would be perfectly fine. I would be actually the happiest vampire in the fucking world if there wasn't for one little detail. You see, you guys are trespassing. I'm sorry. I really dig your vibe, but you're trespassing.
We're trespassing, Lick. You're
Yeah.
trespassing.
Geez, that just got so interesting. That used to be Camarilla turf, just a week ago. And now you're here. And you see, like, there are only 4 of you, and there's the whole Camarilla. So,
You're the whole Camarilla? All the vampires.
I wish.
Laugh.
We're
I'm
just
glad
here.
you're finding me so funny, because, I'm the best face you will see from the Camarilla.
Oh no, those two look much more reasonable than you. Hey, how you doing?
Hello. We are just
Hello.
here to tell you nicely that this is, in fact, Camarilla territory. And your companions do not seem so interested in the speeches you're giving, so perhaps you would move them to someplace else.
What about you, tall, dark, and beautiful? What's your story? Are you with them?
You can call me Liv. And, I'm with them. I'm interested, what are you doing here? Maybe we also can ask you something.
What are we doing here? We're having a meeting. We're just talking, isn't that right, everybody? The other 3 look a little uncomfortable now that the Camarilla has been mentioned. The Nosferatu stands up, and you can see that in addition to the gigantic eye and the peeling skin, they have long, crusty fingernails at the ends of their hands, and they look like they're maybe carrying a lot of extra weight that's moving underneath their trash bag or their raincoat or whatever it is. There are bulges that move independently underneath the material, moving up and down and around the body. The raincoat is clearly concealing something. The other 2, the one with the sweater and the one in the Yankees attire and the baseball bat, are just watching you, and they look a little concerned. They look at each other. The one in the Yankees hat shrugs, but they're willing to let Mr. Shaved Head do the talking. So, as representatives of the Camarilla, what do you want?
We
Wasn't it
want you
green?
to get out of here.
Well, one at a time. One at a time. Let's talk to the reasonable individual over here. I didn't catch your name, sorry. I'm Tyrone.
Hello, Tyrone. My name is Helena, and I'm kindly asking you to leave from here. Because, as the nice man said, you're trespassing.
Okay, that doesn't sound like something I'm going to do, but we can get to that. Trespassing on Camarilla territory. Who? I mean, I don't see the prince. I don't see the sheriff. Whose turf is this?
Would you like the sheriff to show up? Because
I mean-
that's what's happening next.
I mean, I've heard a lot about Kadir, but I've never met him. That would be kind of cool. He can't possibly be as badass as they say.
Is finding out worth the final death?
Look, you all seem like, well, maybe not you, dude, but you two seem like reasonable individuals. You seem like smart licks. You can't really be happy with the Camarilla and how they're running the show, can you? I mean, come on. They push us out to the side. They don't give us enough territory to even eat. It's just oppression. It's just tyranny. What's next? Blood taxes like, I don't know, what's his name, Vannevar in Los Angeles? Screw that. Don't you want to be free? To make your own choices? To do your own thing?
Look, I'm sorry. I think I missed part of the story. Aren't you guys fucking vampires?
Yeah, aren't you?
Yeah, but you just stand there and bitch about how oppressed you are. Sorry. You're immortal monster of a night. Come on, man. It can't be that bad.
Oh, we're gonna do more than bitch about it. Mr.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that part. You can skip it. Look, as much as I dig this, whole style of yours and how you want to make everything right and, show the Camarilla that the things can be done in other ways, I don't think it is possible right now. Sorry. I mean, that's only 3 of us. We're not gonna fight you. I'm gonna say it right now. Like, we're not here to fight. We're not here to kick ass. We're here to talk. Because if we are not successful, someone else will come. And, well, you know how it goes.
He ignores you, Dirk, and he turns his attention back to Helena. Look. You're gonna wake up one night after doing some terrible stuff for the Camarilla, like kicking out us, and you're gonna ask yourself, am I the bad guy? And the answer is gonna be, yeah, you're the bad guy. Because you're perpetuating a system of oppression that's completely unnecessary. What? You're gonna kick us out just so the prince can do what? Claim her power in the park? That makes no sense. It doesn't have to be this way. I think you know that. You, tall, mysterious, dark person, I don't know what you think, but you scare the crap out of me, so I'm not talking to you.
And what do you suggest, as opposed to what I could have? Because as I see it, I can ask you to leave, I can get you to leave, and then tomorrow I'm more or less free to do as I wish.
Yeah? You think it'll end there? What will they ask you to do next?
This is the nice thing about living in a civilized way. If we have an agreement, we honor it. So if I'm told that I will be left alone, I tend to believe it.
Roan risks a look at the other vampires on the platform. He looks at the Nosferatu, who's standing there, listening, paying attention. And he looks at the vampire with the sweater and the Yankees hat and baseball bat. As if, well, let's see. Does anybody want to try to find out anything? Does anybody want to use any of your talents or abilities?
I would be interested to see where they stand. Do they agree with him or not?
You're trying to read the vibe, to understand the social situation.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's take a look at your character sheet really quickly. Wits doesn't really quite apply, but let's take a look at... You've spent enough time around your sire, Madison, to know something about guilt and manipulation and emotional pressure. So let's make a pool of manipulation and politics. See if you can read the situation. Now, I'll remind you that you can, if you want to risk it, make a rouse check to increase your chances of success by adding a die to the pool, but you might get hungrier.
Yes, I will do that. I will.
All right, make a roll a hunger die and let me know what the result is.
It's a success.
You don't get hungrier. You keep your beast in check. You remain at 1 hunger.
The situation is stressful for me. It's stressful enough for me to keep the beast in check, and now that's 2 successes.
2 successes. Not bad. You think the Nosferatu seems like they believe it. They don't appear outwardly enthusiastic, but the body language, the expression in the eyes, who they pay attention to, and when they nod, makes you suspect that they're on Tyrone's side, and they want to change. They're not ready to give up to the Camarilla, not without a fight. The other 2, you're less sure about, especially the one wearing the warm sweater. He doesn't want to be here, you think. You're not sure why he's here, but this isn't his thing. Baseball cap, harder to read, very difficult. He could go either way.
I'll just take a short look at each of their faces and just ask, and why are you here? We've heard the leader, and what do you say?
Yankees baseball jacket and hat is first to speak. Hey, I'm new to all this. I'm sort of like all of you, but not really, I guess. I don't know. They tell me I'm a thinny. I'm not really sure what that means. But I've been chased out of every place in the city that I've tried to set up my home. So, I thought I'd pay attention to what's going on here. Might be a good idea. I don't know. The kindred in the sweater, in the warm sweater, says, look, I didn't have anything better to do.
Like,
he gestures at Liv. I don't like the way she keeps looking at us. The Nosferatu thinks about it for a moment. And they say, hey, things have been okay since Prince Hanhard took over, okay? Got rid of the Sabbat, but that was thanks to my clan, okay? Calibros and Uncle Smelly, we had a lot to do with that. And, it ain't been so good for us since then. It's like the prince forgot that we were important. She forgot who her friends are. So, I thought I'd listen to what he has to say. He makes sense. The Inquisition is like, killing us. I heard that, the Warlocks, their whole big fairy tale castle blew up over there in Europe, and I heard out in Los Angeles some terrible things happened, and they killed the prince, and I don't know, it could happen here too. And I don't think Prince Hanhard can handle it. I mean, the sheriff seems okay, but he's just one kindred. So, I'm mostly about my clan. I want something better for us. And if you really are representing the Camarilla here tonight, which I doubt, I don't think you got much for us. So, I have nothing to lose by listening. Now, I don't know what you heard about my clan, but we're not much for the, the Dukaroo. But, don't give me a reason to come looking for you.
Look, you guys make some sense, right? I mean, I can see from your point of view, why would you be unhappy? Especially you're beautiful. But listen, it doesn't work that way. You cannot just stand in a place and scream shit about Prince and hope that something's gonna change. Like, this is a really shitty plan.
Aaron says, okay, what do you recommend? How would you change things?
Well, first of all, I would start by thinking what things can be changed and what cannot. And right now, I don't see Prince going away anytime soon. I don't see Sheriff going away anytime soon. And, probably even the borderlines of Camarilla will not really change in nearest nights. Maybe, just maybe, if you were to, make something productive, for instance, change places, try to find some more allies, unite together, that would be a better course of action. At least you would represent something and not just stand there all together by yourself.
I don't know what clan you are, but if I was your sire, I would be so ashamed of you.
Well,
No.
Unlucky for him, this guy is dead, destroyed, turned into a piece of meat on the road.
It's at this point that I would like to ask all three of you to make another wits and awareness roll, just like we did before. Helena, your specialty does apply.
Okay.
And I'll make a roll of my own.
3 successes for me this time.
3.
2
Two
successes.
successes.
2 for Liv. And how many for Dirk?
2.
2? Helena, you're the only one that notices the raven. It's sitting now in a nearby tree watching everything. Its little beady black eyes taking in everything that's happening below. It's clear we're at a standoff, an impasse. We're not moving, and I don't think you can make us. But you're clearly not going unless you get what you want, right?
Sounds like it.
Man, it would be so much easier than if we just grabbed a beer, wouldn't it?
Liv?
I want to come to Nosferatu and ask, you are talking about Camarilla, so you was a part of it?
The Nosferatu lowers her voice. It's not quite a whisper, but it's not easy to hear. And she leans close to you. You can smell the terrible, awful odor of her skin in her trash bag. And you can, now that she's close, you can see that things are squirming underneath her plastic coat. You in the camera.
Sorry, we are not hearing you now.
I think you're too quiet and we don't hear you.
Yes.
Can you repeat, please?
Can you repeat it once again?
He whispers, yeah, I'm in the Camarilla, but I'm curious. This doesn't sound so bad. Prince Panhard completely forgot about all of us. We don't even have a primogen.
But
What about you? Are you in the Camarilla?
I think so. But do you think that Camarilla don't see like the strongest side?
Yeah, they're stronger for now, but...
So why leaving the strongest side? This anarchistful people not looks like very strong persons.
I agree. Hear what you're saying, but sometimes the strongest side becomes weak. But you don't believe it. What would you do if you were me?
I always try to be a part of the strongest side, because they are winning.
You sound like a Ventru.
It sounds reasonable. Look, kids. Is it really so hard to just leave without any blood spilled here? Because, like, we don't want to hurt you either.
Let's review our options. Let's pause for a moment and let's see where it can go from here. You are on the territory that belongs to Madison Newman. And I take a look at the raven and smile.
The raven bobs its head up and down as though agreeing with you.
You can agree to leave, and they will probably leave you alone. You cannot agree to leave, and probably that will not end greatly for you. And you can take your chances in beating us for whatever reason you may see appropriate. And we'll take our chances on beating you back. And in the end, someone will show up and make you leave anyway. So why risk it?
Arun thinks for a moment. He looks again at the other kindred, and you can see, almost see, the mental mathematics, the calculus in his head as he tries to decide, if it comes to a fight, who will fight with him and who won't. And apparently he arrives at a conclusion he doesn't like. His shoulders slump a little. He nods in agreement. See what you're saying? Makes a lot of sense. So, let's say we agree that we'll leave this platform. We could go someplace else, and who is it? Madison? Madison? Somebody? Madison? Never heard of her. Never heard of her. We could go someplace else in her territory, or just someplace else in the park. Does that satisfy whatever you got to do?
That whole park is her territory. She doesn't want you here.
Well, that's a bigger problem because there's more than just who you see here. Let's look at your other options. Let's say we throw down, let's say we fight, and we win.
Okay. Let's skip the whole consciousness part. Let's say you don't care. But this will give the Camarilla even more reasons to run you out of here. You were trespassing, that's not that bad. You killed some of those who belong to the Camarilla. You make them real angry.
Yeah, but they'll never find you, so how will they know?
Yeah, how will Madison know that the one that she sent here to talk to you and the friends that she mentioned she's taking with her are missing? How would she put these two together?
Must take a detective.
Okay, this worries him. He starts looking around in the darkness behind you as if expecting to see other kindred. What are you talking about?
You don't really think that the Camarilla just take chances and hopes that they send someone that can manage this, right? They just take the easy option and hope this is enough. And if it's not enough, then maybe they sent us here because they want a reason to execute you. Maybe they want you to beat us, and then they will just not have a problem anymore.
Two things happen simultaneously. Multiple things happen at once. First thing that happens is the Nosferatu that's talking to Liv leans close to you, Liv, again, points at the raven.
Mm-hmm.
Is that with you?
Nope.
It's with somebody. The second thing that happens is that there's a loud noise from the opposite end of the platform near the fire, and another individual climbs up onto the concrete platform. She's dressed, again, a lot like you, Dirk. But her coat is cooler than yours, I'm sorry. It's long, more stylish, more modern. It's like Anarch by Prada. She's got long, very long, reddish-brown hair tied back in a cord behind her neck. And she's got boots that are maybe not as cool as yours, but similar. She clearly rides a bike. And she's not alone. She's got a dog with her. A large, very large dog. She stands behind the fire barrel, and the dog sits next to her. And she looks at all of you cross the flames. And she doesn't seem to be bothered by the fire at all.
Can we help you?
Well, well, well. She looks at each of you, and her eyes stop at Liv. Does your daddy know you're here?
What? I'm making for a few steps behind.
I don't think he'd be very pleased.
Dirk, I'm not sure that it's Anarch's.
Who's running this show? Well, I might be many things, but if you're asking what my name is that what you're asking? Let's be clear.
Not really, but go on.
Well, I'll give you mine if you'll give me yours.
So I'm Dirk the Hammer. This is Hel and Leaf.
Oh, I know who she is.
So wonderful.
The Hammer.
The Hammer, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of sexy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, kind of silly too, but sexy.
You don't choose your name chooses you.
What a strange idea. You can call me Sue. Does that help?
Whatever.
Fine.
Hello, Sue.
Who's running this little... What is this anyway? Vampires Anonymous meeting?
A little dispute. Look, we were just explaining these guys that they have to leave. So, if you could wait for 10 minutes, we would appreciate that.
I'm a very busy vampire. I haven't got that kind of time.
You probably should attend to your business.
And we still don't know your name.
Oh, you can call me Sue.
Are you together? I'll
With them?
Yeah.
With the shave? Well, I mean, maybe. Maybe I'm with you. We'll find out, won't we? This is very, very interesting. This is not what I expected to find here tonight. I thought I would be coming to a meeting of the Anarch movement in New York City, and we were going to talk about change. Instead, I find anarchs, sort of, and The ivory tower, I guess?
That would be correct. And you?
I don't want to belong to either of your dumb little clubs. But I think I can help you both.
Wait, you don't want to belong to any, but you kind of have to, don't you?
Liv understands, don't you, Liv?
You know each other, or do you know her?
No, we've never met, but
I know what she wants.
then you know you should get your little friends out of here.
What are you talking about?
I think she is from Sabat.
What's that?
They were defeated.
Ooh, oh, that hurt. That hurt. That really hurt.
I'm sorry, it's some kind of Boy Scout group.
Oh, man.
Popular band.
Hammer, you were so cool. I mean,
you don't look like you're from Black Sabbath, so...
I don't know what that is. But
Yikes.
this is really a great opportunity. I didn't expect that this would happen. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. Liv, this could be very, very easy for you. You could just come with me and we'll go talk to a few people and this can all be over.
No way, no way. Enough lie about your freedom for me.
I'll leave your friends alone. I mean, for now. No?
Nope.
Look, sorry to bother you, but Lev, she's my friend, so I'm not giving up her. And if you want any business with her, you're dealing with us, with all of us. So, right. Look, what exactly do you want? You have some unsettled score? She owes you something?
It's not really my story to tell, and I wouldn't want to embarrass her.
Look, I'm
Let's
pretty
just
sure
say
we can
that there-
discuss it together after that. What do you want?
Let's just say that there are people who would like to talk to her.
Well, then they can come and talk. What's keeping them away?
Don't think that's what you want, Hammer, but we'll see. Maybe that will happen too. But for now, let's see. Let's take inventory. Hey, where'd that thing go? It's at this point you notice that the Nosferatu isn't there anymore, or at least you don't see them.
Probably smart.
Can I ask, if I said about Sabat, what was the reaction of Anarchs?
That's a great question. So let's rewind the camera a little bit. When you said Sabat, Tyrone looked interested. His reaction was, really? Cool. All right, now we got a party. The Nosferatu's giant eye got even bigger, and they started sort of moving backwards toward the edge of the platform. The vampire in the sweater just looked confused. What? Huh? Who? Is that like the Giants or the Patriots, the baseball team? I've never heard of the Sabat. What league do they play for? One with the baseball bat and the Yankees jacket and hat looks confused. Like they don't really understand any of this anymore, and they would like to be someplace else. Sue looks at her dog, pats the dog on the head, and looks back at you, Liv. Well, since you won't come with me, we'll just have to take this up another time. For now, I think you should take your friends and go someplace else, and I'll have a conversation with these licks.
Nah,
This
that's
is like-
not happening.
Well, this is very interesting. We have a three-way standoff, don't we?
We can allow you to stay
Jesus
here. and
Christ, why do
not-
you want this assholes anyway?
This is really boring.
Yeah.
She snaps her fingers, the dog lunges, she kicks over the fire can, and we have to go to initiative. So, initiative and vampire, obviously a little different, right? It's composure and awareness, and I've taken the liberty of calculating them for you by adding up your scores. So I know who among you is fastest and who is the slowest. We also don't use a map or miniatures or a grid. It's all theater of the mind. So it's not important how many meters you are away from an individual. It's only important about what you intend to do and understanding and remembering that everything happens simultaneously. So everybody can attack if they want to, but they can also defend if they want to. It's very confusing. Combat is chaotic and dangerous, but very, very fast. And we'll fight for 3 rounds, and then we'll see how it is. So, Helena, with a score of 7, because of your special insight, you are actually able to act the fastest. What you see is Sue kicking over the fire can so that it falls over and the burning material spreads out on top of the concrete platform. Very dangerous. If that gets near to you, I think your beast might take control. The dog leaps over the fire and goes to attack. It's not clear who it's attacking, though. It's got so many different targets, it could bite anybody. What do you want to do?
I kind of take a step back, almost instinctively, and my dark nails start becoming even longer as they start hissing, also almost instinctively.
So, are you using feral claws?
Feral weapons, yes, I would like to.
Feral weapons, excuse me. That requires a rouse check.
And I will do that. I become hungrier.
You can hear Madison's voice in the back of your mind, in your head. You are such a disappointment. I don't know why I bothered embracing you. I had such high hopes. Would you please just eat this lick? Give me what I want. So you get hungrier, and now you're at 2 hunger. What is it you want? You've got your claws grown, and you're ready. Are you preparing to defend yourself, or are you preparing to attack?
I think Madison's voice in my head actually gives me an idea. And I try to go for the dog.
Gonna go for the dog. Okay, hold that thought. We know your intention. Remember, everything happens at once, same time. Liv, with a score of 4, you are next. What is your intention? What do you prefer to do? That fire looks like something you want to stay away from, especially.
Okay, I'll try to run away from this fire, if it is possible, and I want to be near that person from Sabat.
Sue, the Sabat.
And do I have any move more or no?
Yes, you can definitely move. You can move around the platform, away from the fire, to get near to her.
Okay, and I want to use Arms of Ahriman. I'm trying to feel all darkness around and attack her.
That will require a rouse check also. You'll have to roll a hunger die.
Okay. Can you help me what I must roll?
You need to roll one hunger die to make a rouse check to see if you get hungrier.
One success.
One success. So you don't get hungrier. You stay at one hunger.
Okay.
Shadows begin to emerge and slither from the edge of the platform. In the lurid, blazing light of the fire, they look strange and stretched and attenuated. They begin to skitter across the concrete surface, snaking their way towards Sue.
A moment ago, I was... Sorry?
Is your intention to attack her with the tendrils, with the arms?
Yeah, a moment ago I was scared, but now I want to attack her and not only to survive.
All right, hold that thought. That's what's happening with you. Dirk, with a score of only 2, you are last in this group. But you've seen what everyone else's intentions are, so that can also be advantageous. What's your plan?
As I scream, bring it on, sister, I grow my feral weapons out, it's my claws, and I jump on the shaven punk in a leather jacket, and I don't care about anything about surroundings. If I need to jump over something, I'm gonna do that. If I'm gonna push someone away, I'm gonna do that. But my main direction is just this guy, and I want to grab him and bite him.
Grab him and bite him. You'll need to make a rouse check.
Mm-hmm. I've got a critical.
So it's a success. Okay.
Yeah.
On a rouse check, there's just success or failure. So the critical or the bestial failure doesn't apply. So you don't get hungrier. You grow the feral weapons, and you lunge at Tyrone, this jerk. Right?
Yes.
Okay. The anarch reaction is different. Tyrone, because he's closest to the fire, needs to check for frenzy. Okay. You can see his eyes get fearful, and his fangs bare, and for a moment you think he's going to run, but he doesn't. He steels himself, stays in control, and that's when you plow into him. The Nosferatu, you don't see anymore. The vampire wearing the sweater takes one look at this and says, "No way! I am gone! I am out of here!" He jumps off the platform and runs into the night. The vampire with the baseball bat stands at the edge of the platform, holds up his bat, ready to hit anybody who comes near him, but he doesn't attack. And Sue walks through the fire, straight at you, Helena. Doesn't burn her. She doesn't flinch. The fire is reflected red in her eyes. She looks happy. Okay, let's resolve all these actions. Helena first. You're going for the dog. You've got feral claws. Please.
I would
Go ahead. Sorry.
If I can, I would like to not harm him as much as possible, but just get him to restrain him so that I can show Sue that I do not want to harm him, but I will.
You will if you have to, but you don't want to. All right. That's a grapple. Your role is strength plus brawl. You're not using the feral weapons to inflict harm at this time.
Okay. Let me make that roll. I've got 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. You meet the dog in mid-leap. You jump, the dog jumps. You come together in the air, crash to the concrete platform, rolling around with each other. It's tremendously strong, stronger than any dog that you have ever had to deal with. You've dealt with a lot of big dogs, huge dogs, Mastiffs, Alsatians, Great Danes, Pyrenees mountain dogs. This thing is even stronger. It's almost like grappling a horse, maybe. But you are stronger than the dog. You wrap your arms around it, and you wrestle it to a stop on the platform. So the dog is neutralized. It's out of the fight as long as you continue to grapple it. Liv. No, Helena, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just want to stare dead into Sue's eyes and say, I understand attachment. Don't. And that's it. Just point my claws at the dog's head.
Liv. You must also make a roll for wits and oblivion.
Two success.
How many?
2.
2 successes. I'm going to count this as a surprise attack because, as we said, Sue's attention is on Helena. She's not paying any attention to you or anybody else. So, you're going to assault her with the shadow tendrils, with the arms of Armand. What do you want to do? Do you want to use them to strike at her to inflict damage, or do you want them to wrap around her? How do you want this to go?
I want to at first stop her, but if she is at fire... Ooh.
Tough choice. The tendrils might not be able to survive the fire.
Okay, I try just to beat her, because if fire burn my shadows, so it makes any sense.
Yes, that's absolutely true. I'm going to make a quick rules check here to make sure that I don't treat you unfairly. Yes. Okay. Got it. All right, so your wits and oblivion roll was 2?
Yep.
Okay, so tentacle shadows form almost like a whip. Without a sound, silently, they snap backwards and snake forward like a striking cobra, hitting her against the side of the head and the shoulders. Roll for her resolve composure. Her head snaps one direction and then the other as the shadow tendrils buffet her about the face, and they leave little black marks, almost like soot or coal or sludge or something disgusting against her pale skin. She looks surprised. She did not expect to be attacked from behind that way, as she was focusing on Helena. But now you have her attention. Dirk, you are next. You are slamming into Tyrone. What do you want to do? Are you trying to punch, kick, bite, grapple?
Grab him, essentially grapple, but I want to puncture his skin with my claws, and I want to bite him.
And you want to bite him, so
yeah,
that's a complicated set of attacks. Prioritize one: claws or biting.
Claws, yeah, definitely.
Claws. All right, so let's go ahead and make a it's not a melee attack. It's a regular attack, right? Strength and brawl.
Simple brawl, because I'm actually adding +2 to brawl attacks, so I think.
So it's strength and brawl together.
Do I get a bonus from specialty?
Yeah. Yes.
It's 2 successes +2 from feral weapons.
So a total of 4?
Essentially, yeah.
I might as well not have rolled. So the claws stab him under the rib cage and in the shoulder. He shouts in pain. Screams, "I'll kill you for that."
You can try.
And that is when you feel the cold, sharp steel of the long knife snaking out from underneath his jacket and into your flesh. So this is his response, is instead of to dodge, it's to try to stab you. You are grappled with him, so you can dodge, but it would break away the grapple and you'd have to start all over again. Or you can just
hold on to him.
You want to hold on to him?
Yeah,
and grab
I don't
him.
care about any damage.
You don't care. You're at 4, so all right. It's only we'll cut the wound in half, so because it's only superficial, so it's only 1 point of damage. A scratch.
No.
Nothing serious. Nothing serious at all. Working our way backwards to Liv. Sue now gives you her full attention. Wow. Daddy's little girl is ready to fight. You should have run away when you had the chance.
Now I have a chance and I have my freedom.
Not for long. She turns on you. She spreads her hands, her fingers, and you can see the blood sorcery beginning to form around them. Come on, little girl, let's dance. She doesn't attack you. Probably because it takes time to do this. Working our way back up. Helena. Dog is completely grappled and it can't move in your grasp. You have feral whispers. You can understand what it says. Let me go! You don't belong here!
Don't care for you or care for your master. I'll shout to Sue, "Hey! You harm her, and it dies!" And I'll bring the feral weapons a bit closer to the dog.
Dog whimpers a little bit. Sue doesn't pay any attention at all. It's as though she doesn't care. Okay, that's round 1. Let's go back to the top. Same order. Starting with Helena. You have the advantage. You can let the dog go. You can continue to grapple it, of course. Or you can do damage. Or you can try something else. What's your intention? A tough situation, not an easy choice.
I'll try to command it to help Dirk attack, and I point at the leader of the Anarchs, trying to make eye contact as I overpower him, as I have the dog in my hands.
So your command is, help me.
My command is attack, pointing to the Anarch leader. Using
Make a roll. Let's make a dice pool. Make a roll.
That would be the second animalism, the feral whispers. Okay.
So it's manipulation and charisma.
That's 2 attributes. Is that fine?
I think so. Let me see. Manipulation and charisma, right? And manipulation or charisma. Which is higher for you?
Charisma.
So make it charisma plus animalism.
Okay. That's 3 successes.
Dog says, "Thought you'd never ask." It squirms out of your grasp and launches itself at the legs of the Anarch leader, Tyrone. Let's move to Liv. Liv,
Yep.
You are staring at Sue, who is beginning to create something
Is she
with her
already
hands.
in the fire or no?
She's standing at the edge of the fire, close enough so that if you were to come within weapon distance, you would have to test for frenzy.
Okay, I don't want to come closer, so I think I will use arms of Ahriman one more time, but to hit her hand. Right.
To hit her hand. Mm-hmm. So you want to stop what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hold that thought. And now we go to Dirk. You are grappling with Tyrone. He stabbed you in the gut, not much damage. You have your claws in him, and now there's a third combatant in the fray, and that is the dog. The big, strange, scary dog, which is now running between your legs and Tyrone's legs and biting at Tyrone, trying to rip the flesh off his legs. What would you like to do?
I would like to get my fingers even deeper inside his flesh. Just kind of grab him as hard as I can. Well, I'm probably gonna say, like it, princess, and then I'm gonna bite. I don't care which part. I don't care whether he's wearing a leather jacket. I'm biting his shoulder. I just want to bite through and just get to his insides.
Okay. Let's go back to Helena for a moment. You've commanded the dog to go attack. You see that it follows your commands. Is there anything else you'd like to do? Do you want to stand up? Do you want to get out of here?
There's no one else apart from Sue who looks like a threat at the moment, right?
You take a quick look at everybody else in the platform. The vampire wearing the sweater is long gone. And you don't see the Nosferatu either. The vampire with the baseball bat and the Yankees jacket has apparently made up his mind. He's decided. He's got his bat. He's headed toward Tyrone and Dirk. You're not sure who he's going to hit.
In that case, I'll approach them as well and be ready to strike him if he attempts to strike Dirk.
Okay. I understand.
I'm down at this.
Back to Liv then. Let's make a Wits in Oblivion roll, please, one more time.
One success.
One success. Okay. 3 successes for Sue. So this is what happens. Your shadow tendril, the arm.
Sorry, it was not hunger, yep.
You add the hunger to the dice pool, yes?
No, I rolled only one for hunger, but yeah, I was wrong.
Oh, you don't need to roll for hunger again. Just once for the whole scene.
Ah, okay. Okay, sorry. So
you roll Wits plus Oblivion.
Ah, okay, sorry.
You're just manipulating the tendril.
Okay, 2 success.
2 successes. Okay, that's much better. Since she rolled 3, her victory is 1, but it's only partial. So this is what happens. The arms of Ahriman circle around her body, upper leg, upper side, upper arm, and they hold on to her wrist. She can't move it properly to do whatever it is that she's doing. So the red, bloody magic that she's trying to create flares brightly once, destroying the arms of Ahriman. So if you want to summon them again, you'll have to make another arouse check. But it also completely interrupts whatever she was doing. And the red magic fades away from her hands, and she looks really upset about this.
If you are standing between me and my choice, I will kill you.
Famous last words, princess. Famous last words. Hammer, you're biting. Is that right?
Yeah, I do.
I really don't think he's going to want to be bitten. Look at my rules sheet here to make sure that I do this fairly for you. Okay. Make a brawl attack. Strength and brawl. You have to take away 2 dice, though, because it's a bite.
-2, right. It's 1 success.
1 success.
Plus, I think I get the same +2 from my claws because I'm not sure if I do or not. I've got 1 success on my roll, and if I do apply the bonus, then it's 3.
How many failures did you get? How many failed dice?
Failures, you mean like once?
When you made the die roll, how many dice were failures? Blank.
Blank, 2. 2 of them.
My recommendation, I recommend that you spend a point of willpower, take a point of superficial willpower damage, and re-roll those 2 failed dice.
Sure.
See if you can increase your margin.
Nothing. 0 from them.
Maybe you shouldn't listen to me.
Maybe. Well, that's 1 point of willpower spent.
How many total successes?
So it's 1 like clean success and +2 from bonus.
Okay, not great. Let's see what we've got here. Tyrone will attempt to break the grapple. He doesn't want to be bitten and he wants to get away from this dog. He's not having a good night. Okay. So, unfortunately, his successes far outnumber yours. So, he breaks the grapple before you can bite him. You do not get to sink your fangs into him and taste his vitae as much as you wanted to. He will take damage from the claws, however. Breaking the grapple drags your claws across his undead flesh, inflicting more damage. He spins away a few steps. He nearly trips over the dog, which is still between his legs, trying to bite. Tyrone's really in bad shape here. Let's work our way back upwards. So, we know what Tyrone is doing. Now we go to Liv. Sue risks a quick glance over her shoulder to see what's going on. She sees that Tyrone is being badly damaged in the fight. She looks at you. She makes a decision. She's going to try to dominate you. So, looking you in the eyes, she has to make a rouse check. Not good. Not good at all. Liv, please make a roll. It's your intelligence plus your resolve.
Okay.
For you, Liv.
I have 3 successes.
That's very good, actually. Her dice pool is not as big as I thought it was. Yeah. She says, "Get on your knees." You can hear her voice drift across the meters of air between you, circle around, find its way into your ears, your eyes, your skin. And for a moment, just for a moment, you want to do it. You want to do as she says. But you are made of stronger stuff. You know what happens if you get in. You know what happens if she takes you away from here. You know what happens if you go back to him. So, I would like you to please roll all your unspent willpower. So, if you have a blank willpower box, go ahead and form a dice pool. No hunger dice, just regular dice. So an ordinary willpower.
Okay. 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay, that beats her by a margin of 1. You don't do as she says. Take a point of superficial willpower damage, but it seems a small price to pay for keeping your free will. And Sue looks surprised. She didn't expect you to be that strong. Now she looks a little worried. So, other kindred in the fight. Mr. New York Yankees over here starts swinging his baseball bat. And Hammer, he's decided that you are the target of the night. Now, Helena, you were waiting for something to happen. When you see him walk up and swing the bat at your coterie mate, what do you want to do?
I'll just try to jump him. No, you don't. Trying to harm his arm that is holding the bat with my claws.
With your claws. All right, let's leave it there. Final round of combat coming up. 1, 2, 3, and out. Here we go. Top of the order. Helena, you are going to attack Mr. Yankees with your claws. You're trying to damage him. You don't want him to hit Dirk.
He made his...
I mean, maybe Dirk has it coming, but really you don't want him to hurt Dirk. Okay. So, go ahead and make an attack. Strength and brawl. His response will be to switch targets and hit you with the bat instead. They'll be rolling off against each other.
Okay. I've got 1 success, and I will spend 1 willpower to reroll 2 dice.
Okay, take a point of superficial willpower damage. Reroll 2 dice.
Okay, that's still 1 success plus 2 successes for using the feral weapons, so 3 total.
A total of 3. Okay. Your claws catch the bat and stick in it. Not a very convenient situation for you, because now you've got a baseball bat stuck on your claws. But you did interrupt the swing. Moving on to Liv.
Okay, Liv, now she is feeling like overcome her fear, so she want to come closer to this person and just hit her by her knife.
You want to get close enough to attack her with the knife, is that right?
Yep. And watching in her eyes.
And watching in her eyes. All right. Well, you remember that I said if you got close enough to hit her with a weapon, you have to test for frenzy because of the fire.
Yep.
So let's see what happens.
I remember.
So you'll roll all your unspent willpower
Okay.
plus 30% of your humanity, 1/3 of your humanity.
Okay. No
Go
hunger.
ahead and roll whenever you're ready.
And no hunger.
No hunger,
Okay.
just willpower.
Okay, it's 5 successes.
5 successes. Wow. So, if you had lost, you would have to flee from danger. You would suffer the Shrek, the red fear. These open flames would trigger your beast, and it would run away. But successes is incredible. It takes the full turn to suppress the impulse. So you won't actually get to attack this turn with your knife. You master your fear. You squash the beast deep, deep, deep in your gut. And you show it who is the master here. No attack. The fire isn't even there for you. And that makes Sue more afraid than if you had actually hit her with the knife. Hammer, back to the brawl. Dogs, baseball bats, Helena, Tyrone. It's a mess. This is exactly the kind of thing that you love. This is a great night.
I am living it. How does Terrell look? Does he look like he's going to run, or he's just going to continue his fight?
He doesn't look like the sort of kindred who runs. He's not smart enough. He's going to fight until it's over.
I thought so. Well, I'm going to give him like a second or two so that I can actually see it in his eyes. I want to see that he's going to do that. And I'm going to nod slightly because we both in a fight and we're going to kill. One of us probably is going to die. And I want to see that he understands it the same way I do. I'm going to just spend a second or two looking at it. And then I'm going to jump and just start attacking him one after another, just kind of trying to cut his flesh and get the best out of him.
Mm-hmm. You're going to try to rip him apart.
Essentially.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make your strength and brawl roll.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's too entangled with the dog to do anything to defend himself here.
It's 6 successes. I got a critical.
Not a messy.
Not a messy. No. I've got only 100.
Regular critical.
Yeah.
So the whole margin of 6. If he's not defending himself, if he's not dodging away from you and trying to get away from the dog, he's going to take all of that. And you're using feral claws, is that right?
Yeah.
So that's superficial damage, but we don't cut it in half for him. That's going to fill all his health boxes. So, claws sing through the night air, slashing, cutting, tearing, ripping. Stuff that you were made to do. Each strike plunges into his undead flesh and tears away a piece of it. Now, the hot stink of vitae begins to fill the night air. Nobody is at more than hunger 2, so you don't need to test for a hunger frenzy here. But it smells delicious as the blood smell fills your noses and your senses. By the time you are finished striking with your claws, Tyrone collapses onto the concrete and he's covering his head to try to keep the dog from biting his face off. Do you continue attacking him while he's down?
If he fell down, I'm gonna bite him eventually. I just
Let's take a moment while I
this taste.
Take a moment while I check your convictions.
I don't think it's against it.
I agree. This has nothing to do with family. Tyrone doesn't qualify as someone is in need, and there's nothing here about the dullness of life. So, there's no risk to your humanity here if you keep on attacking him while he's down. So that's what you're going to do? Is your goal to kill him, to drive him into torpor, to drink his blood? What would be the outcome that you choose?
I think that right now, Dirk just feels the smell of blood. He feels the death of this kindred in front of him. And he feels that the beast within wants to bite in and just drown in blood. So I think that he doesn't see the reason why he should stop, why he should not give in into the beast. So I
think the beast is shouting in your head, "Party, party, party!"
So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bite him and I'm going to drink him.
Bite him and drink him. You're going to take him down. Hold that thought. That's a process. Let's go back up to Liv. Sue has finally figured out that she is in over her head here. She looks at her dog, who's busy helping somebody else. She looks at Tyrone. And she looks at you. Another time and another place. There is nowhere in this city that you can go that I will not find you.
There will be no another time. Can I attack as I wanted?
Yes. With the knife.
Yep.
It's a melee. It's, I believe, is it strength of melee or dexterity of melee for you?
Dexterity better.
Dexterity, I believe. Yeah. Are you using a blood surge to improve your dice roll, or are you using a normal dice pool?
I think it's a great time to use it.
All right, make a rouse check. Roll a hunger die and see if you get hungrier.
Okay. Mm. Zero successes on hunger dice and
No successes. Okay.
and it's melee and dexterity.
Mm-hmm. So you failed the rouse check, but you gained the benefit to your dice pool. Is that right?
Sorry?
You made a rouse check to increase your dice pool.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
But you got 0 successes on the hunger die.
Yes. So
Okay. You gain a hunger. You get hungrier.
okay, and melee with dexterity, I have 5 successes.
And while you're fighting, you can hear your sire's voice in your head. See, senorita, that's my girl. You go get her. 5 successes with the knife.
Yep.
The best that Sue can do is dodge. He's not in great shape. Regular knife, right?
Yes, regular knife, and I'm just trying to hit her hard if it's possible.
As hard as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So you drive the knife in. She takes a step back and to the side, so you don't catch her as hard as you possibly could, but it's enough to inflict a wound into her. You got your message through to her. You made your point. And finally, Helena. Mr. Yankees lets go of the baseball bat and holds up his hands. I'm done.
I'm just slowly gonna lower my hands with my claws, and I blink several times, and my eyes become red. And I just stare at him and say, "That's your cue to run away."
He turns and splits. Jumps off the platform, races off into the darkness. Screw this!
Good choice.
End of combat. 3 rounds and out. So, let's review where we are. Sue, wounded. Doesn't have her dog anymore. Jumps off the platform and makes her way out of here. If someone wants to pursue her to continue the fight, they can. The dog is calmed down. Takes a look at you, Helena. It nods. But it leaps off the platform and follows Sue into the night.
I let him.
Now, let's address what's happening on the platform. You're absolutely certain that this is what you want to do.
Yeah, I think Dirk doesn't know any better.
All right. Make a strength and resolve test.
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty is 3. You only need to make 1 test.
Strength and oh, my resolve is quite high. That's nice.
He is, for all intents and purposes, immobilized on the ground.
It's 3 successes.
3 successes, and the difficulty is 3. So that's a tie, which counts as a win. You drain Tyrone's blood. Your fangs sink into his flesh, and you inhale mouthful after mouthful of delicious vitae. As good as human blood tastes, this is better. It's the best thing that you've ever tasted. Better than the finest wine or beer when you were alive. Better than water on a hot day. Better than the taste of blood from someone you love. It's potent and intoxicating, and you can feel yourself drowning in it. Now, as some of your humanity begins to fade away from you and erode, let's make another roll. It's your humanity plus your blood potency.
Mm-hmm.
That's your pool. No hunger dice.
Yeah.
And I'm going to roll the targets. I'm going to roll Tyrone's resolve against his blood his blood potency.
Mm-hmm. Wait, actually I made the wrong roll. So it's 4 successes.
No successes for Tyrone. So you take all of him. Everything he meant, all the anger, passion, the despair, everything that he was, everything that it meant to be Tyrone goes into you. You get a few pictures in your head, fleeting memories. Child learning to ride a bicycle, a day at the beach, other bikers, angry people, angry brouhaha. It's all a strange kaleidoscope of images that don't make sense, like a movie that you're watching in the wrong order. And then it's over. And Tyrone is gone. His kindred body is unmoving. He was too young to collapse into ashes and dust, but his skin begins to wither and decay as the few years that he's been dead catches up with him.
I think Dirk will fall down on his knees. He never realized what it actually meant to take the soul, to take the whole blood of a vampire. And now he feels it within. He feels that what he did, what he took from him, was more than anyone is supposed to take. It was more than just giving into the beast. It was given into the whole concept of hell and darkness. And I will look at my hands and see that those are the hands that did not just kill a person, but actually took everything what it meant to be this person. And I'm gonna pause for a second. Just
Let's find out if Helena or Liv understand what's happening here. Helena and Liv, you can each make a roll. And the pool is intelligence and occult.
At 2 successes.
2 successes for Helena.
3 successes.
3 successes. Liv, you understand what's just happened here. Considering where you came from and who you came from, you know what this is. Helena, the only thing that you can know for certain is that Tyrone has met the final death at the hands of Dirk.
You two okay?
I don't think so. No.
Hey. I'll just come closer to Dirk and try to look into his eyes.
The fire that was burning on the platform is almost gone. Just a few little embers. No brighter than cigarettes. Nothing that can hurt you now.
Are you hurt?
I don't know what happened. Is it over?
Looks like it. Seems like we were convincing enough. Liv? What the hell was that?
I think Liv is still standing with her knife and looking the way that standing you. And if you call her, what?
What was she talking about?
She know my son, and he don't like me, as you see.
Okay, I think that's normally the case, but not liking your child and sending all kinds of other kindred to bring them back, that's a bit on a different level.
I ran away for a long time, so...
That sounds and looks like you had your reasons.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, look.
Is your sire the bad?
Is it problem?
It would be a problem if you were, but from what I'm seeing here, you're probably not.
I'm doing my own choices. Doesn't matter who is him.
That's a good answer.
Dirk?
That is a good answer. The Nosferatu, the one that disappeared from the fight, is back on the platform, standing near you. This time, however, you notice that there is nothing moving underneath their clothing. That was very impressive. I'm convinced. I think, looking at what just happened here, I think I'd rather stay in the Camarilla.
You decided to stay with most power side?
I decided to stay with you.
Great.
I tell you what. I noticed your bird friend is gone. So, I guess that means they know already, huh?
Let's go and make sure that they know. Because
All right.
that's sure as hell not what I signed up for. Going for
Maybe we can make a deal.
What kind of deal?
Well, you left a mess. Clean up your mess. This will all be gone. I'll stay in the Camarilla, and I'll tell everybody that you convinced me to stay.
What's in it for you?
I'm glad you asked. So this is what I want, Mr. Hammer. I want in. I want to join your little party. Because if this is how you spend your nights, that's what I'm all about.
You didn't seem too eager to join the party.
Had to see what you were made of, didn't I? I don't want to join any losers. I'm like, what was your name? Sue, I'm busy.
I didn't catch your name.
On. What?
I didn't catch your name.
Oh, call me Harriet.
Harriet.
Yeah. Hey, look, I can be useful. I know things. I can introduce you to some people. Well, not really people. You know what I mean. Us, Licks, kindred. What do you say? Is it a deal?
Not that I'm opposed to the idea of having another friend, but if you're already with the Camarilla, how come you want help? Does it look like she's making fun of us, or does it look like?
That's a really good question. So you want to try to figure out if she's lying to you or telling you the truth or evading. Yeah, that role can, many different pools can represent that role. For Helena, let's see what would be the most appropriate. Sorry, that's Liv's character sheet. You are not the same. Let's make it. Let's make it manipulation and insight. Helena is trying to figure out, what would I do in her position? How would I try to make a deal here?
Okay. That's 0 successes, but I will try to spend another willpower to get something better.
All right.
That's 1 success total.
1 success total. You're not sure. She doesn't seem like she's making fun of you or mocking you, but you're not sure if she's telling the truth either.
Okay.
Hey, look, sun's going to come up eventually, and you don't want this mess here, so why don't you all go back and talk about it, and you let me know what you decide.
Okay.
I'll throw the cleanup in for free.
How do I find you?
Oh, I'll find you. Seem good?
I'll help you to clean. Gonna stay here.
Cool. There's a janitor's closet over there. Go get yourself a broom, Mr. Hammer.
No, there are better ways. But I just want to make sure that this place stays clean.
You're sure that's what you want to do? Because you helped a lot. So we better make sure that Miss Madison knows that, because that may count for something in the future.
Well, then tell her that I did that and I stayed here to clean. I think she'll appreciate that, wouldn't she?
Your choice.
Madison? Maddie Newman? That's your boss?
You know her?
Yeah. I'm not a fan.
Me neither.
But I know this is her turf. This is her territory, so I think I can help you.
Everybody deserves for a chance, so I think I will help you if I can.
Yeah, you got a problem if what I heard is true. You need to meet your representative. I don't know what she calls herself these days. Her name's Julia. She can help you. I can introduce you. See, I can be useful. Come on.
Okay.
All right. It's going to be, it's going to be night's over soon. So let's get this cleaned up. You guys do whatever you're going to do, and we'll talk again later. Fair?
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. This seems like an excellent place to end our vampire story. At least for now. I hope you all had as much fun as I did telling the story of the murder of crows, which, if you haven't guessed by now, is who you are.
Yay, thank you. It was great. Yay.
That was a lot of fun. I hope we get to play again. I really want to know what happens.
Oh yes, so many open questions.
Nice.
Yeah.
All the best vampire stories have many questions at the end. Nothing ever resolves very cleanly.
Yep. Cleanly is the
part.
last word that applies here.
Yeah, exactly.
Not in my stories, no. Thank you all very, very much for inviting me to be your storyteller today. And thank you especially, Natalie, for inviting me to join you. This was a lot of fun for me. I hope you enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
I hope everybody watching had a good time.
Thank you very much for your time and for great story.
Of course.
Thank you
My pleasure.
to everyone.
Thank you guys who was watching us. Now time to end our stream. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.